Welcome back to Campus West for the second game of this doubleheader. The Laverne Leopards playing against the Claremont Mudscripts Athenas. I am Layla Elsball here with my partner Taylor Fukunaga. We are so glad to have some beautiful weather for this doubleheader here this weekend.
And
Game one of this doubleheader ended in a 5-0 shutout for the Athenas.
And Layla, let's recap that game a little bit. You know, the Athenas came out on top 5-0. I will definitely say that they had such great defense. They were able to hold the Leopards down to a T. Ferris had a great day at the plate. Imani Ferris, you know, she was able to break that through for the Athenas, putting their squad on the board and ultimately leading them in a good direction that gave them their win earlier today.
Absolutely, and not to mention pitcher Perry Darian, who finished up the game with 86 pitches, 2 hits, 1 walk, and 1 strikeout. So putting her defense to work, just being able to make those plays. Ultimately, it was a team effort from the Athenas.
And so now this series is tied. It's going to come down to this game. Who's going to end up, you know, taking the W from this series this weekend? We have Jaden Alvarez on the mound for the Leopards. She's one of 2 seniors who are graduating pretty soon. She's described as, you know, one of the team moms, having such a caring personality. And so just being able to, you know, have that sort of support behind her. You know, all the girls love her. And so I know that they're going to do their best to back her up today.
Absolutely. And I think this Leopards team has become extremely tight-knit. You can tell with how they talk to each other, how they're communicating. They're all very much on the same page, and I think that is all product of Coach K's work and how she has been able to bring this team together.
And so this last game is really going to be about making the routine plays, sticking to the game plan. Again, going back to those errors, making sure that your team, your squad doesn't, you know, pile up when it comes to that. At the end of the day, the team who makes the least amount of errors has a greater chance of winning.
Absolutely. And not to mention the SCIAC tournament that is coming up. Laverne is tied with Pomona Pitzer after this loss. I believe they will take 4th rather than being tied in 3rd. So at the end of the day, we're going to see where the Leopards are placed.
Yes. And then, of course, you have some other teams in the SCIAC that are playing this weekend. So all of those numbers are still up in the air. Again, the rankings go Redlands taking that #1 seed, Chapman coming in not too far behind at 2nd. You know, we're tied with Pomona Pitzer for 3rd currently. Then following Whittier at 4th and CMS at 5th. And you know, Layla, with the change a couple years ago, instead of the top 4 qualifying teams making it to postseason, now it's 5. So it gives us a little more wiggle room.
Absolutely. Not just us some more wiggle room, but for other teams to maybe make a last minute effort to make their way into this tournament. Now as the ball's thrown down, Leopards are going to take the field, try and dump any errors, try and erase last game and come out and make their effort in this new game. And batting first for the Athenas is going to be Delaney Stevens, followed by Rachel Saperstein. And then in the hole is going to be Alex Wedmeyer. Following is Giselle Lai, Gabby Robel, Imani Ferris, Megan Coe, Danica Sterling, and Murda Morali. As that first pitch is getting ready to be, that first pitch is going to be ball. Comebacker, easy play. Alvarez is going to be able to make out first for her first out of the game.
And you know, Layla, we were talking a little bit about this during the previous game, but the fact that pitchers not only have to, you know, deal with that responsibility of pitching on the mound, but also having to play defense if the ball is hit right back to them. And we've seen a couple occurrences happen during that previous game that we just saw.
Now as Saperstein heads into the box. That one's going to be low, 1 ball.
You know, Layla, we're pretty much looking at the same lineup besides the pitching changes for this second game of the day.
Don't fix it if it's not broke. That one's going to be in the zone. Counts 1-1.
And Saperstein is one of the leading hitters for this Athena's lineup with a .327 batting average, with 104 at-bats recorded on the season so far. So she's had a whole lot of experience up at that plate.
Alvarez firing. That one's going to be fouled off. And Alvarez just looking to establish herself in the circle very early in this game. Eliminate those early chances for the Athenas. Easy one, hit up to third, makes the play.
That's a nice place over there. Nice play over there by Galaviz in that 5 spot. You know, making that nice routine play, getting it over to Gutierrez at first. Again, sticking to the game plan.
Absolutely, just eliminating errors, minimal errors, being able to get out of this top of this first without any issues. So now 2 outs for Alvarez and her Leopards. That one's gonna miss the zone. 1 ball. Gets the top of the zone. 1-1 count on Wedmeyer.
And you can see how that ball just pops into Chacom's glove in the back of that plate. Honestly, one of the most satisfying sounds as a pitcher myself.
Oh yeah, once you hit that pocket, it's perfect. 1-1 count. Nice hit. Able to make that play at short is Petretti, bringing in her Leopards.
Honestly, nice, great plays by the middle infield, that hot corner, Galaviz over there at third. So nice, very clean inning for the Leopards.
And heading into the middle of the first inning, the score is 0-0. You're watching SkyX Softball on Flow Sports and LVTV3.
Hi, I'm Jane Seymour, and I spent years on TV playing a doctor. But I learned about the heartbreaking reality of heart disease and stroke when they touched my own life.
My father had had heart disease.
My mother had had a stroke. It was devastating. Heart disease is America's #1 killer and the #1 killer of women. That's why I'm so passionate about working with the American Heart Association. Learn more at helpheart.org.
Coming back to the bottom of the first inning, Leopards are going to have their opportunity to strike first with very similar lineup. Ali Clenzo is going to be coming up for the Leopards, then followed by Kylie Knight, Allison Gutierrez, Aries Alonso, Brooke Petretti, Michaela Galaviz, Ava Chacon, Annika Luna, and Janelle Vega.
And so nothing changes about Colenso being in that leadoff spot. Just right here facing a different hand, Hannah Adams in the pitching circle for the Athenas. But Colenso understands her role to get on base so that, you know, her hitters following after her are placed in a good spot for a good scoring opportunity already.
That first pitch is going to be high for ball 1. Allie showing bunt. That one's just going to miss the zone for ball 2. Shows bunt again. That one's fouled back for strike one. Count is 2-1.
And you know, Layla, when you talk about dominant pitchers, Hannah Adams is, you know, definitely a familiar name on the SCIAC leaderboard. She's 4th in SCIAC with her ERA of 2.36, so she's just above Brianna Vasquez. She also is 4th in SCIAC for innings pitched with 112, and she's also up there for strikeouts.
Popped up and caught by Danica Sterling for an easy out. And now this brings up Kylie
Now
Knight
batting for the Leopards, number
for
2,
your Leopards.
Kylie Knight.
Still trying to make something happen in this first inning, trying to get ahead early. Knight shows bunt, pulls back, and is fouled straight back for strike one.
And going back to Hannah Adams, you know, her hot hand in that pitching circle, she's recorded 57 strikeouts so far on the season, making her 3rd in SCIAC for that.
It's popped foul. Looks like it's gonna hit the netting. Now Kylie Knight has 2 strikes on her. Adams trying to record another strikeout here. Knight pulls back, rolls it up. Easy play made at first by Giselle Lide.
Lai is no stranger to routine plays, to plays that are totally out
Now
there.
batting,
So
number 11,
for her
Allison
and for
Gutierrez.
Adams, actually, to know that she has a very strong defense, and with someone like Lai in that 4-hole, you know that nothing's getting past her.
And we saw a lot of that athleticism on display last game. Made a few really incredible plays as Allison Gutierrez comes up, swings through that one for strike one. That one's outside, ball one. Counts 1-1. And another strong swing through that pitch. Count is 1 ball, 2 strikes on Gutierrez.
Gutierrez definitely had a day at first this previous game. Talk about that really good line drive play that she made.
Shows bunt, pulls back. And that one is going to be foul. Staying alive in that batter's box with 2 outs. Another foul. And we talk about productive at-bats and getting on top of the ball very early, getting that timing down. If you've noticed throughout the entire Leopards lineup, they pull back, they show bunt, pull back. That's for timing purposes. And I think it's helping Gutierrez in this situation.
Mm-hmm. Because sometimes productive at-bats don't always result in a hit in the books. It's about working the pitcher.
And that one's going to be low for ball 2. Count is 2-2. Now Gutierrez looking to get a body on base for this Leopards offense. That one's going to be foul, hitting the netting. Staying alive is Gutierrez with a 2-2 count.
Gutierrez is coming into this game with that 347 batting averages, having started 16 out of the 23 games that she's played this season.
Looking to get it going for this Leopards offense. Gutierrez shows bunt, pulls back, rolled up to first baseman Wedmeyer, and is able to bring the Athenas back into the dugout to head out for their second round of batting. At the end of the first inning, the score is 0-0. You're watching Skyac Softball on Flow Sports and LVTV3 Laverne Community Television.
If you're buzzed and doing this, to make yourself feel okay to drive,
ZWX.
you're not okay to drive.
YGKLVW. Regular U.
Top of the second inning here at Campus West. Jaden Alvarez in the circle for the Leopards, trying to get 3 straight outs to put her Leopards back on offense.
Yeah, Layla. And again, it's still very early on in this game. It's normal for the scores to look like a whole bunch of zeros because we have a fresh slate that we're working with. But it always comes down to who's going to be the first to open that door, who's going to be the first to have that explosive offensive inning.
And last game we saw that the first person to get on fire was
Leading off
the
for number
Athenas.
24,
And
Giselle
now
Lott.
Leopards still trying to kind of get their footing, especially putting up 0 runs last game. And now Giselle Lai is going to come up for the Athenas, trying to get on base for her team. And that one's going to be low for ball 1.
Lai coming into this game with a 356 batting average, starting 31 of 32 games that she's played so far this season. Definitely one of the key starters for the Athenas.
That one's in the zone for strike 1 on Lai. Count is 1-1. And Lai, I mean, we talked about her defensive abilities, and she's extremely stellar out there. That one's chipped foul.
And the thing is, she is going to be just as fast around the bases as she is on defense.
Absolutely.
So if you get her on those bags, she's going to be pretty hard to stop.
Quick and a power hitter. Sounds dangerous. Count is 1-2. Right up the middle, but Colenso is there to make the play for the first out of the inning.
Good job on Colenso using, her forward momentum to carry her towards the infield and really just squaring up and getting that ball in as soon as she can.
And that one was hit straight
Now
down the
batting
middle,
number 9,
so
Gabby Roble.
you could just imagine how much she would have been anticipating that hit. And that brings up Gabby Roble. In the zone for strike 1.
Having 78 at-bats for Robel in the season so far. She's coming in with a 321 batting average, starting 25 of the 31 games that she's played this season.
just got the top of the ball, hit that one foul.
And with that, she's recorded 25 hits, 3 doubles, 1 triple, and 1 home run. Really checking off all those boxes.
You know, this Athena's lineup is definitely very productive, and they are able to get things done. 0-2 count. Looked like Alvarez went for that chase pitch. 1-2. That one's hit up 5-6 hole. Kylie Knight's gonna field that one, throw that to second. And now the Athenas have their first runner aboard, bringing up Imani Ferris, who went 3 for 3 last game, was definitely on a hot streak, and now she's gonna have to find a way to bring this run in for the Athenas.
Yeah, let's see if she's able to carry that hot bat into this game as well with her first appearance against Alvarez.
That one's in the zone for strike 1.
And Ferris, while she's only had 38 bats recorded on the season so far and a .211 batting average, she's definitely proven herself and shown why she's a starter in this Athena's lineup.
And that pitch misses the zone for ball 1 on Ferris. Alvarez still with 1 out. That one's 5-6 hit 5-6 hole once again. Ferris advances the runner at second and is safe at first.
And again, going back to the concept of stringing those hits together, now you have Robel at second, Ferris at first. And that brings up Morelli, number 5. Sorry, my bad, Megan Coe, number 99. And this puts the Athena's offensive lineup in good scoring position.
And of course, so early in this game, we kind of mentioned it. It's easy to get down on yourself, however, there's still so much game left. And Alvarez has only reached a pitch count of 20 as she fires. And that one's going to be called a ball with corners crashing. Reading that bunt off of Coe's bat. 1 ball. That one's hit foul for Coe's first strike.
Looks like she just got right under that one.
And you know, Leopards defense have multiple options. You can either head to third base for that force out, get the easy out at first, try and turn it, make a double play, get the offense back out here. Alvarez fires.
It's nice knowing when your defense has multiple options and multiple routes to go.
For sure. So that one's going to be a ball. Count is 2-1. Pitch straight to Petretti, turns it, makes the double play, and brings the Leopards defense off the field. What a great heads-up play by Petretti.
That was smooth. That was great. Easy bang, bang play for the Leopards. And now they're coming back into the dugout looking to explode with those bats.
And with that momentum, middle of the second inning, score is 0-0. You're watching ULV Softball on Flow Sports and LVTV3.
How do you know when you've made the right decision? It's the feeling you get in your gut. The one that tells you what's right or wrong. It's the one that says, sure, I can have a drink. Or the feeling that says, okay, I've been drinking. Now what? It's the voice inside you that says, I'm buzzed. Better leave the car when it's time to go. Plan ahead. Catch a sober ride. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Athena's back on the field. Adams takes the pitching circle as Leopards get ready. After that, amazing play by Petretti. Great heads-up play to turn the double play, to turn it into two. And now brings up Aries Alonso, trying to get something happen for the Leopards.
And it's nice knowing that scale is kind of leaning more for the Leopards right now because of that amazing play between those middle infielders just earlier.
Check swing from Alonso is going to be one strike.
And you can see Adams really controlling that outside corner spot. Something that's going to get a lot of batters chasing today.
Another one on that outside corner for strike two on Alonso. And that pitch is going to be in the other batter's box for ball one. Count is 1-2. Another ball outside. 2-2 count.
And Adams is the type of pitcher that's bringing a lot of speed and power. So as a hitter, sometimes you don't have to think about supplying all the power yourself. Adams is going to provide that for you.
That one's fouled back. Two count on Alonso, looking to capitalize on that momentum coming out of top of the second. That one's hit straight to lie for the first out for Hannah Adams.
And Lai didn't even have to move her feet for that one. She just stayed perfectly in place and it came right to her.
That was a strong hit.
Now batting number 26, Brooke Petretti.
And now Brooke Petretti is going to be coming up for the Leopards. Again, still trying to make something happen. Get runners on base as she shows bunt. Pulls back. One's in the dirt for ball one.
Definitely a nice hack taken over there by Petretti. Really trying to gain her timing. Seeing that ball. It looks like Petretti was called out for hitting outside the batter's box. Is that correct, Layla?
7 for Kayla Galaviz.
Me too. Galaviz with her 20th bat of the season so far. Really looking to break things open for the Leopards offense here.
Galaviz show spun again. And fouled back once more. Count stays 2-2.
That's going to be Adams' 27th pitch of the game so far.
Galaviz swings through. And is tagged out after that drop third strike.
You know, Layla, we had a couple short pauses during the top of this third inning. I know it threw some people off, especially with that call against Brooke Petretti, but I think it's important to keep that, good pace of the game going so that everybody stays engaged and no one falls off at the end of the day.
Absolutely. Middle of the second inning, or I'm sorry. At the end of the second inning, the score is 0-0. You're watching SkyX Softball on Flow Sports and LVTV3 Laverne Community Television. And now Jaden Alvarez back in the circle for the Leopards. And Danica Sterling coming up for the Athenas. Score is 0-0. Trying to get something going, trying to find some momentum for either team.
And Alvarez has recorded already 24 pitches on the day, really trying to minimize how much work she has to do during this last game of the day today. And if we take a look at the numbers, Layla, for hits, the Athenas are leading with 2, but the Leopards are not trailing too far behind with 0. So as long as they can rack up those hits, it gives them a higher chance of putting their number on the board first.
Absolutely. Still 0-0 ball game, so lots of opportunities to be had, lots of game to play as Danica Sterling steps in the box. Strike one in the zone from Alvarez. 0-1 count. That one's hit up to Vega. Turns, makes that play at first for the first out of the third inning.
Nice, clean routine play by Vega over there in the 4-hole.
Now batting number 5, Murda Morali.
Now Murder Morali coming up for the Athenas.
And you can see that ball just makes its way to Vega, is able to make that throw to Gutierrez at first for out number 1.
Gets that corner for a strike on Morali. A 1 count. Upstairs for ball 1. Alvarez firing, 1-1 count. Another upstairs for ball 2.
Morelli here with her 46th at-bat of the season, already recording 12 hits, 2 runs, 4 RBIs, 1 double and 1 triple.
Trying to open up these scoring opportunities. Morali in the box, Alvarez firing. And that one's called a ball. Now 3-1 count. Important for the batter to be a little bit more selective. You don't want to take a chance on a pitch that you don't like. That one's hit to Galaviz, makes that play at first for the second out of the inning.
Beautiful play by Galaviz in that 5 spot. And making a nice throw to Gutierrez, too, to secure that play for out number 2.
Now batting number 31, Delaney Stevens.
And now we reach the top of the lineup for the Athenas. That one's rolled up nice and easy for Galaviz to make that play. And now Stevens trying to get on base. Popped up. Kylie Knight has it. And an easy 3 outs for Jaden Alvarez.
Easy 1-2-3 inning for Alvarez.
Middle of the 3rd inning, the score is 0-0. You're watching SkyX Softball on Flow Sports and LVTV3.
Here's Grandma Florence after that flood wiped out the whole neighborhood. Sometimes I just cannot believe all the storms we've gone through here. I can only hope that we'll be able to leave this house to you one day, baby. You're our legacy.
Planning for these disasters will make sure we're safe, and is the best way to protect that legacy.
Your family is your legacy. Planning for a natural disaster will make sure you're all safe. Visit ready.gov/plan for the tools and tips you need to start your emergency preparedness plan today.
Hannah Adams taking the mound for the Athenas. Bring up this Leopards offense, who has yet to make a dent in any sort of capacity today. Trying to score their first runs, trying to gain momentum. And Ava Chacon is going to lead them off this inning.
And Adams has done a really good job of, keeping these Leopards down to, not letting them showcase what they can do at the plate. When you take a look at the at-bat numbers, the Athenas have 10 already recorded so far in this game, whereas the Leopards have 6, meaning that Adams has, really made her presence known in that circle and holding these Leopards offense down.
And we talked about the Athenas having a little bit of a more shallow pitching staff. However, they're still able to hold the Leopards back. Adams getting the pitch call. It's low for ball 1. Swung through by Chacon for strike 1. Count is 1-1.
Adams is doing a really good job of, very specific ball placement. That's what's going to get a lot of hitters, is when you know how to place a ball, throw in a little spin with it, as you can see that she's doing, it's going to throw them off.
That one gets the end of the bat fouled off. Count is 1-2. And you can absolutely see the spin in effect, especially with that pitch. And that one's outside for ball 2. Count is 2-2. And you can kind of tell with Morale back there, you can see where the pitch is going, if it's going to be a chase pitch, river, or even just right in the zone. And that one swung through for out number 1.
And for Adams, that's got to be a good confidence booster. And look at those teammates behind her throwing up the K. Very supportive of Adams in that circle. And you can see the amount of energy that Morelli brings to the field, making sure that she's supporting her pitcher.
I've never seen that before. I think that's so fun. Now Annika Luna is going to come up for the Leopards. Just misses the zone for strike 1. Small check, but does not go for ball 1 on Luna.
Luna's coming into this game. This is her 86th at-bat. 24 hits recorded on the season, 7 RBIs, 2 doubles. And really just an all-around good hitter who's also speedy around the bases.
And that one's upstairs for ball 3. Count is 3-0. Important to be selective here. Make sure we're not chasing pitches we don't want. And that one's in the zone for strike 1. Count is 3-1. Leopards looking for their first base runner of the game. And that one's fouled back for strike 2. Full count.
Luna doing everything she can to stay alive in that batter's box. She's fouled off quite a bit, making this a productive at-bat, really doing her best to work Adams as much as she can before the next batter in the Leopards lineup comes up.
Now with a full count, Hannah Adams delivers. That one's hit to and bobbled by Stevens. Luna's gonna make her way to third for a stand-up triple, getting the Leopards their first base runner of the game.
And take a look at that energy coming from Luna. Well-deserved hit. It gets past Stevens out in right field. And that's actually going to give Luna her first triple of the season, Layla.
And what a way to do that. Just that speed on Luna. Continues to run. Looked like she wanted to go for 4 there.
And hey, she has all the speed. She can definitely do so. But definitely better to be safe than sorry.
Especially with 1 out. And now there's going to be little equipment problem. I think Sterling needed to put her glasses back on. Now, runner at third. Janelle Vega is going to come up. That one's upstairs for ball one. Leopards looking for their first run of the day. Another upstairs. Morale gonna make her presence known behind the plate. With that fake throw, trying to get Luna to bite.
And I think it's good to note how well Morelli is holding things down behind the plate.
One's flown out to a gap, gets through. Leopards are gonna score as Vega makes her way to third. Little hesitation for a sliding triple.
Threes on threes on threes, Layla.
And that is exactly what the Leopards needed to score their first run. Some great momentum coming off of that last outing.
Exactly, and that's going to be Vega's second triple of the season. And I mean, just take a look at that. Making her way around first. And you can see now she's really starting to take off. No putting the brakes on that gas pedal. Slides her way into third. With a good couple seconds to spare, too.
And especially with that little bit of hesitation, she kind of had me there. I was a little bit worried, but, you know, she has speed.
Mm-hmm. Hey, if you know you can get there, you might as well go.
Exactly. And this is going to bring up the top of the Leopards lineup. Colenso with one at-bat. She's 0 for 1 today. But still, this top of the lineup, she is speedy. If they need to sacrifice, maybe sac fly, tag up, score another run.
Mm-hmm.
Anything the Leopards need.
Ellie Colenso.
And here comes that runner, scoring that first run. Fouled back for strike one.
And Layla, it's kind of nice knowing that this rally is happening when there's only one out on the board.
Yeah.
Everybody talks about a 2-out rally, but sometimes your backs are against the wall and you have, so much more pressure when you're in that situation. But when you have no outs, 1 out, and you start this rally, you're like, oh yeah, let's keep it going. We have some time left.
It's a good feeling to know that the entire team's on the same page. And another fouled back. Strike 2 on Colenso. Still trying to bring that run in for some insurance. Colenso shows bunt. Pulls back. Takes that one for ball one. Count is 1 and 2.
Looks like that was a little off speed as well.
Colenso back in the box, showing bunt. Pulls back. And another upstairs for ball 2. 2-2 count.
And Vega's over there at third, understanding that at any given moment, if Colenso puts this ball into play, depending on where it goes, she's booking it home.
Popped up. Nobody gets it. Colenso's going to second and is safe at second. Run is going to come in, but thrown out. Colenso rushed back to second base. Calls time. A little bit of a messy play. Vega's gonna try and run in for that safe at home, scoring another run, but does not make it in time for that throw.
Now batting number 2, Kylie Knight.
So even though that run doesn't count, Colenso makes her way to second, giving the Leopards still a fighting chance to do something a little more this inning.
Here's a little bit of an awkward pause. Nobody's really communicating. Morelli's going to check third, throws it to second, then heads back home and gets Vega out.
And again, going back to the importance of communication, my coach growing up used to call that a campfire, when the ball just lands in the middle of like a group of people.
That one's hit up the middle. Sterling grabs it, does not attempt a throw. Runner's going to be safe at first and at third.
Now batting number 11, Allison Gutierrez.
And now Gutierrez is coming up for the power hitters of this Leopards lineup. A lot of opportunities here. And this is what we talked about at the beginning of the game, capitalizing on errors.
Yep, and again, when your team does make those errors, how are you going to make up for that? How are you going to compensate and keep your squad still in that game?
In the zone for strike one. Gutierrez shows bunt, pulls back, pulls that ball all the way into foul territory. That one was hot.
That one definitely had a lot of pop, a lot of power to it. So now Adams probably knows not to throw it too much in that sweet spot on that inside part of the plate, because she knows that Gutierrez can pull that one pretty far.
Now Adams getting the pitch. Firing. That one's hit right up the middle and turned easy for the third out of the inning. And what an inning, what a breakthrough for the Leopards offense.
No, exactly, and we can accredit that to Janelle Vega, who was able to bring in Luna for that first run on the board for the Leopards. But even though Colenso Knight left stranded on first and third for this inning, I mean, I think they still produce a lot of great at-bats and great hits.
And at the end of the third inning, the score is Leopards 1 and Athena 0. You're watching SkyX Softball on Flow Sports and LVTV3, Laverne Community Television.
You quit smoking and thought, that's that. But here's the thing about lung cancer. By the time you see the symptoms, it could be too late. But now, there's a new scan that can detect lung cancer early, when it's more curable. If you smoked, get scanned. Talk to your doctor or learn more at savedbythescan.org.
After that electric inning from the Leopards, Jaden Alvarez is going to take the circle once again and see if the Athenas have something to respond with.
Exactly. Now we're these two squads are kind of neck and neck in terms of at-bats. The hits have been kind of more so in the favor of the Leopards with 4 compared to the Athenas with 2. And of course, those 2 like stand-up triples that the Leopards had this previous inning. I mean, wow. I'm sure that gave them such an electric feel and that good pace of momentum carrying into this top of the 4th inning.
If I were Alvarez, I'd be fired up after that. And now she's going to face Saperstein, second batter in this Athena's lineup. In the zone for strike one.
Now batting number 8, Rachel Saperstein.
Saperstein, you know, closely approaching her 100 at-bats on the season. She's on number 97, looking to break things through for the Athenas, hoping to catch up to the Leopards.
That one's chopped to Galaviz, makes that easy play for the first out of the inning.
A nice, easy 1-2 play by Galaviz.
Now batting number 11, Alex Wiedemeyer.
That brings up Alex Whitmeyer. Athena's still trying to build momentum. Alvarez fires in the zone for strike one.
And as a pitcher, it's always nice to start off with that first pitch strike because it gives you a little bit of reassurance.
High fly ball. Luna is going to be able to make the play. 2 outs.
Nice job on Luna for, letting that ball carry, making her way back safely to the fence.
And that warning track sometimes, you can't really tell.
Mm-hmm.
In the zone for strike one. Giselle Lai up for the Athenas. Fouled back.
Lai making her 105th at-bat appearance of the season, already recording 20 runs under her belt, 37 hits, 13 RBIs, all of those double-digit numbers, Layla.
And a great person to have up in these situations when you're down with momentum. Just trying to build something up. Lai is a great player. And straight to Janelle Vega for the 3rd out of the inning.
And what a nice snag play by Vega. And you gotta have hops in those situations, right? So great job to her, keeping light on her feet. Amazing play, great way to end that half of the inning.
Middle of the 4th inning, the score is Leopards 1, Athena 0. You're watching SkyX Softball on Flow Sports and LVTV 3.
Life's daily battles are not meant to be fought alone.
We're not powerless, so long as we don't lose sight of what's important.
Don't be afraid to seize that moment to talk to your friends.
Cloud, you okay?
Because checking in on a friend can create a safe space.
The first step on our new journey. You coming?
Reach out to a friend about their mental health. Seize the awkward. It's totally worth it.
Bottom of the 4th for the Leopards offense, trying to continue what they had going at the bottom of the 3rd, score more runs.
Mm-hmm. And of course, are they in a comfortable spot right now? No. Do they have the lead? Yes. And so I know they're taking this inning and this opportunity to really rack up some of those runs, to put some reassurance runs on the board.
Absolutely. And now looks like Duran is going to come back in. Her pitch count last game was around 80 pitches. Now she's coming in for some more action.
And of course, every coach has their own strategies. And if CMS coach believes that Darien is, the ideal pick for this situation, we'll see how the Leopards are able to hop on this pitching change, because they already faced Darien during the first game earlier today.
And Darien was obviously lights out for this Athena's team. So trying to continue this momentum is Aries Alonso in the batter's box. Hit straight up the middle for a single.
It just gets right in front of Ferris. She tried to slide and make that catch, but it hops right in front of her glove.
That one's just hit straight up the middle and dies right before Ferris's glove. Looks like we're gonna get a pinch runner.
Now up to bat, number 26, Brooke Petretti.
And Brooke Petretti's gonna come up. Pinch runner is gonna be Sophia Carrillo. Upstairs, throw goes back to first.
Pinch running for your Leopards, number 4, Sophia Carrillo.
Now Brooke Petretti with the runner on, trying to bring in some more runs for her team. Downstairs, fake throw. And Carrillo's called safe at first.
You can really see the amount of pressure that Carrillo is trying to put on this Athena's defense, and I love to see it.
That matched with the aggressiveness Carrillo's going in with. And now Petretti shows bunt. Pulls back, chops that one. Sipperstein's gonna bare-hand it to first and gets the out. And what a play.
No, yeah, great play, great throw on the run too. I mean, just take a look at that. You can see Petretti chops that one just by Darien, but you can see Sipperstein comes in, swoops it with her throwing hand, gets it to Wedmeyer at first for that out.
And now runners at second for the Leopards as Michaela Galaviz comes up 0 for 1 on the day. Shows bunt. Pulls back. One's downstairs for ball 1. Darien ready to fire. Galaviz shows bunt. Pulls back. That one lands in foul territory. And Carrillo's gonna take off to home and is safe. Another score put on the board for the Leopards.
Great job to Galaviz. You know, really doing a good job of hitting in those open spots too.
Just ready to take off, reads that, and absolutely speeds home for the second Leopards run. And we saw a lot of this from the Athenas last game. You know, they were able to place the ball right in the spots they needed to score those runs. And it looks like the Leopards have taken a couple pages from their book and are trying to do the same.
Yeah, you can really see them emulating that same behavior that the Athenas were able to portray last game. And so, of course, it kind of helps that the Leopards are also seeing the same hand that they were dealt this previous game earlier today. So now they're catching on, now they're being more aggressive, and I know that both of us can see that.
And now Chacon
Now batting
gonna
number
come
30,
up to bat
Ava Chacon.
with the runner at first and 1 out. Swings through that one for strike 1. Umpire's gonna make his way to the Leopards dugout. Get some water. How hot is it today?
It is pretty hot. It is.
It's 80 degrees.
Yeah, 80 degrees here at Campus West. It was much colder earlier this morning. But Chacon making her way up to bat. Another one of the catchers for this Leopards defense. And one thing about Chacon that I've heard from a lot of people is that she brings a lot of good energy. You know, it's always reassuring when you're a pitcher out there and Chacon is behind the plate because you know she's going to support you as much as she can.
Just in the zone for strike 2 on Chacon. Still trying to keep this rally going with 1 out. Chacon shows bunt, pulls back. That one's outside for ball 1. Count is 1-2. Chacon looking to drive this run in. Shows bunt, pulls back, swings through for strike number 2. And Darian's first strikeout for this game.
You know, we've seen Darian strike out a couple batters last game. And you can tell that she's on hot streak right now, really just trying to keep that momentum going.
And the one who brought the momentum for the Leopards coming up now, Annika Luna, trying to hit another triple, score another run. Hit straight up the middle, and Lai's gonna be able to stop that and get the force out at second base for the Athena's 3rd out of the inning.
I'm telling you, Layla, some of those balls that you think are just gonna go straight past the infield up the middle, Lai or Sterling ends up swooping it up. But nonetheless, I think that was a great offensive show out from the Leopards. You have the opening hit by Alonso. Gallaby is hitting that shot to right field to bring home Carrillo, putting yet again another run on the board for the Leopards.
At the end of the 4th inning, the score is 2-0.
I wonder if you know that I want the best for you. But how long will you fight solo? I wonder if you know that we can get help. Not wondering anymore. Love, your mind.
Now after that amazing show of offense, Leopards are going to take the field once again. Jaden Alvarez still in the circle for the Leopards.
CMS number 9, Gabby Roble.
And now Gabby Roble leading off these Athenas, trying to start something with the score being 2-0 Leopards.
Robel being 1 for 1 on the day so far, coming in, making sure that she's consistent at the plate to give her team a fighting chance.
Nice off speed in the zone for strike 1. Another in the zone from Alvarez for strike 2.
That looked like it dropped a little bit. And one thing I will say is Alvarez has a lot of spin on her ball. Sometimes the balls you think are coming straight into the zone, they end up swooping to one side or dropping to her. Drop is definitely her specialty.
And a chase pitch outside. Count is 1-2. Alvarez looking for the first out of the inning. That one's hit down the line in fair territory. Luna's gonna relay that ball to second. For the Athenas, a double.
Now batting number 23, Imani Ferris.
I mean, just take a look at that swing all the way to right field. Robo makes her way around first. No hesitation going to second. Puts her team in good scoring position.
And it looks like coach is going to have a word with his base runners and batter. Base runner and batter.
Looks like some possible substitutions will be made. And as a pitcher, you know, when you're out in the hot sun, it's always nice when you have these moments to recuperate.
Some substitutions here. Some changes in the outfield for the Leopards. Runner at second for the Athenas, and Imani Ferris up to bat. In the zone for strike one. Lays down the bunt. Alvarez is going to field it, throws it to first, gets the out. However, that moves the runner to third for the Athenas.
Great play by Alvarez, getting that ball, having no hesitation to get the easy out at first.
Number 15, Victoria Garza. And number 2, Kylie Knight. Now batting number 99, Megan Coe.
Now the Athenas are going to be in prime position to score their first run of the game. Just like the Athenas coach is going to have a word with the umpire.
And we had a couple fielding changes made. Kylie Knight's being moved to center field. For Victoria Garza comes in at left field for the Leopards.
And then Kylie Knight's going to scoot over into center. Now Megan Coe coming up for the Athenas. Rolled up, just hits the glove of Gutierrez. And Coe is going to be safe at first. Runners at first and third for the Athenas.
You have Roble at third, Coe at first. Bringing up number 13, Danica Sterling.
Here just hits the glove of Gutierrez. Isn't able to make the play, but Vega is going to come and back up her teammate. More strategy talk.
And it looks like we could have a potential pitch hitting change, Layla.
Looks like it.
Your attention, pinch hitting for CMS, number 20, Riley Cooper.
Riley Cooper is going to come in for the Athenas. trying to bring in the first run for the Athenas of the game.
Cooper is coming in with a .350 batting average, having played 15 games on the season.
In the zone for strike one. Chacon pops up, checks runners.
And this is going to be Cooper's 21st at-bat with runners on first and third, hoping to bring in Robo at third and hopes to move Coe at first.
1 strike on Cooper. Hit in the 5-6 hole. Brings in 1 run. Knight's gonna relay that to Petretti, and now runners at first and second for the Athenas.
And now the Athenas have put themselves on the board thanks to Cooper for that hit in between the 5 and 6 hole, bringing in
Now batting
Robo.
number 5, Murdo Morali.
And this is huge for the Athenas. We sort of talked about their close game they had yesterday, the score being 3-2. And now we're seeing that put on display.
And again, it's close games like these where the intensity sort of naturally builds up. And again, we're back to that 1-run deficit. Anything can happen. We're at the top of the 5th inning still, but the tables can still turn. Things can change.
And it looks like we have another pinch hitter for the Athenas. Annabelle Ramirez is going to come in for
Pinch hitting for CMS, number 44,
Murdo Morali.
Annabella Ramirez.
It looks like coach is trying to give this Leopards defense a new bat to see, a new player to see, keeping them on their toes.
Now Alvarez looking to get out of this jam with 1 out. Check swing into foul territory for 1 strike. Ball 1 is upstairs.
The Leopards have 1 out so far. Coe at second, Sterling at first, Ramirez up to bat. This is prime scoring opportunity for the Athenas, and I'm interested to see if they take advantage of that.
Swings through for strike 2, count is 1 and 2.
It looks like that nice downward spin for Alvarez coming out of that circle.
Extremely important to have those different pitches in your arsenal as a pitcher. Ball 2 is called. Count is 2 and 2. And Alvarez still fighting in the circle, looking to rely on her defense to make a play. Now we have Force at third base. Can easily turn for 2 outs or just get the easy out. Chopped foul. Count stays 2 and 2.
And Ramirez is really making Alvarez work in that circle. This is going to be Alvarez's 51st pitch of the game.
Now Alvarez delivers. High fly ball. And that one's going to be gone. Annabelle Ramirez, the pinch hitter, brings in 3 runs for the Athenas.
Ramirez, this being her 23rd at-bat of the season, being put in the middle of this game, only to execute in one of the best ways possible.
And extremely timely as well. Score is going to be 4-2 Athenas. And a productive at-bat from Ramirez. Not only that outcome was what she was looking for, but extremely productive at bat. We talked about Alvarez's count getting a little bit higher, and that one is just absolutely crushed into deep left field.
You can see how it just carries. And for Ramirez, you know, it's always nice to hear that underdog story. Someone who's not in the starting lineup coming in and really just shining like a star, like Ramirez just did.
Now Alvarez has the chance to reset. Bases are cleared. Still one out in the top of the 5th inning. Ball 1 called. And Delaney Stevens is going to come up for the Athenas, top of their lineup. Ball in the dirt. Now 2 balls here on Stevens.
Alvarez looking to circle back in.
Hit to Vega, backhand. Stevens makes it to first in time.
But great job to Vega to be able to get that on the backhand while still keeping a good balance, and good attempt to Gutierrez.
Rachel Saperstein.
And now Ramirez puts the Athenas in the lead. Now Stevens going to be at first, and Saperstein's going to come up. Lays down bunt. Alvarez going to field it, throws to first, but missed her target. Stevens going to make it to third, standing. And now runners are going to be at first and third for the Athenas.
And, you know, we're at that part of the game now where the Athenas are pulling out all the stops. You have Ramirez's home run earlier. You have Saperstein laying down the bunt, playing small ball. And they're really trying to throw a wrench in the Leopard system. I mean, take a look at that. She just explodes as soon as the ball gets off that bat. And with that missed throw, you can really see her thinking about going to second, but she says, no, I'm going to keep it safe for now.
So now the Leopards team is going to come in, show their support for Alvarez, let her know, we got you, we have your back. And to roll one up.
11, Alice Whittemire.
So now at the top of the 4th, it's going to be 4-2 Athenas. And top of the 5th, excuse me. Top of the 5th, 4-2 Athenas with Whittemire coming up. That one's going to be low for ball 1, 1-0 count. Alvarez delivers. That one's in the dirt. Saperstein's going to take second.
Good attempt to get Saperstein at second by Chacon. See, that was a nice throw already off the knees. Trying to get it to Petretti.
And that was a great read by Saperstein. Saw the ball heading down for the dirt. Now 2 balls. Whittemire takes the third. 3-0 count. Now runners in scoring position for the Athenas, looking to extend their lead.
And when you're a hitter like Whittemire, You know, she's only a sophomore, but has made so much of a presence here in the batter's box during her time with the Athena so far.
Alvarez looks like she shook off that pitch, but now delivers. That one's in the zone for strike one. 3-1 count on Whittemire.
Whittemire, the leader in SCIAC for triples with 4, and 4th in SCIAC for her high batting average. I know she wants to make the most of this opportunity.
Ball gets past Chacon, but quickly bounces back. So
I had to almost do a double take. I blinked my eyes, the ball was gone, and the next thing you know, it's back in the hands of Chacon. I was like, what happened?
she full 180'd. She was looking at us, and the ball was in her hands. Honestly, if that could have happened every single time I had a pass ball, that would be great.
Real. If only the walls could just, you know, give the balls back to us.
Exactly, exactly. Now there's going to be a pitching change. Alvarez is going to come out. 63 pitches on the day, 6 hits, 4 runs, 3 errors for the Leopards defense, and 1 walk.
Great job to Alvarez. And you know, as a senior, that could have been her last regular season appearance as a Leopard. And in a way, it kind of makes you feel a little emotional. You know, she's had a great run here at the university. She was actually my former teammate, and I have nothing but great and positive things to say about her.
And now Alyssa Tafoya, who came in last game, is gonna have her shot at the Athenas now.
Your attention, please. Now pitching for the Leopards, number 7, Alyssa Tafoya.
A familiar face comes back to the mound, Alyssa Tafoya. Another one of the top pitchers for this Leopards pitching staff. Again, having that SCIAC Pitcher of the Week earlier this season under her belt. 2 wins for her on the season, looking to contribute to another one.
So now, runner at second, runner at third, and Giselle Lai is gonna come up. She's 0 for 2 today. Still looking to earn some insurance for her team. Ball 1 on Lai.
You know, you have bases loaded, and for Tafoya to come into a situation like this, it's got to be a lot. There's definitely some pressure there.
And that one's in the zone. 4 strike 1, count as 1-1. That one's flown out to Garza. Throws to third, just misses the mark. Runner at third is going to come in for the 5th Athena's run of the inning.
Now batting number 9.
And now there's going to be 2 outs for Tafoya and her Leopards. Runner at second and third. Still runners in scoring position, so.
And good job on Lai being able to bring in Stevens with that hit.
Tafoya still looking to limit damage. That one's in the zone for strike 1. outside for ball 1. Count is 1-1.
Robo coming in with a 3.43 batting average. 2 for 2 on the day so far, looking to keep that good momentum going in the batter's box.
Fouls that one back. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Roble. Now Tafoya delivers. That one's muscled into fair territory. One run will come in, then another. And that's gonna be a 2-run RBI for Gabby Roble.
Roble, you know, just inching her way into the outfield with that hit. You can tell it just caught the end of her bat, but nonetheless, it's a good hit in the book. She brings in Saperstein and Wedmeyer.
And that corner there down right field line has been getting a lot of attention today.
It really has. I guess it's just the hot corner today.
Now Ferris up fouls that one back. Swings through that one. Chacon picks back to first, not in time. Manny Ferris still trying to keep this inning going. Score 7-2 Athenas. Ball 1 on Ferris. Count is 1-2.
And Imani Ferris was the one to break it open last game. Let's see if she can continue that same good pace and rack up some runs for the Athenas, because it seems like now was the prime scoring inning.
As that one is outside for ball 2, 2-2 count. Back to what you were saying, Taylor. Just something must have happened in that dugout. Everybody must have gotten on the same thought process of this is the inning. And that one hits the inside corner, a little bit too inside for ball 3, full count. Ferris swings, fouls that one back. Still 3-2 count.
And Layla, correct me if I'm wrong, but a lot of these great hits that we're seeing right now were made with 2 outs.
Yeah.
And again, going back to the irony of a 2-route rally.
That one's muscled foul. And yeah, like you were saying, if you have the rally caps on, if you're all bought into the same idea, then things can happen.
Exactly.
Tafoya looking to get out of this inning. Fouled back by Ferris. Another productive at-bat from this Athenas lineup. Another foul ball from Ferris.
Ferris is doing everything she can to stay alive in that batter's box.
And another foul ball from Ferris.
How many foul balls was that already?
Too many. No, I'm kidding. It's extremely productive at bat. 5 foul balls.
And wow, she is really making Tafoya work in that circle.
And as a batter, you go into the box with the mindset of being productive, waiting for that pitch. And another foul ball.
And for Robo, I mean, let's talk about her having to see so many pitches and so many foul balls. She's also got to be ready and on top of her toes too in case the ball does get put into play.
Especially with 2 outs.
She's going to turn those Hot Wheels on as soon as she sees the ball leave the bat.
Another foul ball, this time down left field line. So Ferris still looking to get her timing.
I think it also goes to show how much perseverance she has. You know, the willingness to not give up. You know, her back is against the wall with this full count.
And Tafoya gets the Leopards off the field with a strikeout.
Great job to Tafoya for coming in, getting the Leopards out of this rut that they're in right now. And there's so much that happened this inning, Layla. You have Cooper, the underdog, who brings in Robel, giving the Athenas their first run of the game. And then you have Ramirez with that home run. Saperstein's perfectly placed bunt. And of course, that energy is just picking up from the Athenas lineup. It's like they're not stopping.
And now, after a long top of the 5th, middle of the 5th inning, the score is Athena 7, Leopards 2. You're watching Skyax Softball on Flow Sports and LVTV 3. Darian in the circle for the Athenas after that electric top of the 5th inning. Leopards looking to strike back and see what they can do to regain their lead.
And with Janelle Vega looking to have her second good at-bat of the day today. Already recording a hit in the books on the day. So really, the Leopards are trying to play a game of catch-up right now.
And it feels like they had just had the lead in their grasp, and then everything turned on its head after Annabelle Ramirez's home run. So now Janelle Vega coming in. Leopards are going to have to be scrappy, string together hits. And that first pitch from Darian is going to be a strike. Looks like that pitch just missed the zone. For ball 1, count is 1-1.
And for Darian and Adams, you know, the pitching staff for the Athenas, because of that very long top of the 5th inning that we just had, it gave them so much time to rest and to get ready before coming back out on the field. So you can tell they're well rested, they're ready to go.
Ball 2 is going to be upstairs. 2-1 count. Another outside ball. 3-1 count. And you can see how Ramirez kind of squares up the zone, tries to morph it into her own, bringing in those pitches that just miss. Rolls that one foul. Good heads-up play by Saperstein.
You could tell she was about to grab it, and then she backed off the last minute.
Especially when the spin on the ball is a little awkward. It's important to notice that spin, get the good read.
Yeah, exactly.
And Vega with a little bit more speed as well. Now full count. Rolls that one up to Lai. And makes the play at first.
I can't tell you how many plays Lai and Sterling have made together so far already on the day.
And that just goes to show how strong these Leopards hitters are. But anything hit towards the middle infield, it's just going to be knocked down and turned into outs.
It's going to be swooped up.
Swooped up. Now Garza's going to come in to the batter's box, takes that first strike.
Garza's coming in looking for her first hit of the day.
Darian ready. Fouled back. 2 strikes on Garza.
And now she just has to be a little careful here, because we've seen Darian do it before. She catches some of those hitters on those chase pitches. So with this being an 0-2 count, I'm sure Garza already knows that she's going to have to open her strike zone a little bit here.
That one's called strike 3. Another strikeout for Darian.
And that's going to be her second one so far this game.
Number 2, Kylie Knight.
Now with 2 outs, Kylie Knight's going to come up, try and get a base runner on for this Leopards offense. Hopefully some momentum going. Get some momentum going. Knight shows bunt. Pulls back. That one's hit right into no man's land. And now the Leopards have a base runner with 2 outs.
That was a nice, perfectly placed hit in the middle of Lai and Ferris. You know, both of them like trying to meet in the middle, but it falls on the ground just in time for her to be safe at first.
And placing these balls as a batter is extremely important. And we've seen the Leopards get a little bit better at that this game. So now Allison Gutierrez coming up with a base runner. Shows bunt, pulls back. And that one's gonna get outside the zone for 1 strike. Gutierrez shows bunt and pulls back. Another strike, that outside corner from Darian.
And of course, on the flip side, Morelli being extra aware of Knight over there at first. You can see she wasn't hesitating to throw it over there to Wedmeyer at first.
Gutierrez still showing bunt. Wanting that extra outside pitch, try and get Gutierrez to swing and chase. So 1 ball, 2 strikes on Gutierrez. 2 outs, bottom of the 5th. Gutierrez shows bunt and pulls back. Swings straight to Lai for the 3rd out of the inning. And now the Athenas have the chance to get even more insurance runs.
Yes, they do. And you know that strikeout number 2 for Darian, I'm sure was a really good confidence boost for her. But that hit by Knight in between, that second baseman and center fielder. I mean, at least that is a hit recorded for her. So it's possible. They just have to keep getting those hits in and string those together for insurance runs.
So at the bottom of the 5th inning, score is 7 Athenas, 2 Leopards. You're watching ULV Softball on Flow Sports and LVTV3, Laverne Community Television.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you prevent wildfires.
Dude, I've got this. I've been camping since I was 5 years old.
But I am a camping influencer.
You know what? I'll bet you $5. Okay. Assistant Smokey, what is the best way to put out a campfire?
To put out a campfire, drown with water, stir, drown again. Then make sure the fire is out cold by feeling with the back of your hand.
Wait, really?
I'll take the $5.
Leopards back out on the field. And getting ready to make up some of what was going on last inning. Now Tafoya stays in the circle, trying to eliminate any more damage the Athenas can do.
Tafoya's coming up on her 20th pitch pretty soon. Really trying her best to limit the amount of work that she has to do going into this last fraction of the game.
So now up for the Athenas is Megan Coe. 0 for 2 on the day. That one gets that inside corner for strike 1. Ball 1 is in the dirt from Tafoya. 1-1 count. Tafoya checks for her pitch. Swung on, rolled up. Easy for Gutierrez. Make that play at first. And now 1 out for the Leopards.
Always good to start off the inning on defense with a good out.
Now batting number 13, Danica Sterling.
That brings up Danica Sterling for the Athenas. Still trying her best. Oh, and calling time. Looks like coach is going to have a word with her. Or coach is going to have a word with the umpire.
One thing I do want to make note of, Layla, is when you're looking at the numbers for this game, the hits are pretty much even, 7 and 7 on both sides. And with the score difference, I think now it's just a matter of you have the same number of hits for both teams, but how do you string those together?
And they also have to come in a timely manner. I mean, that home run, it's a 3-run home run, so obviously gave that confidence boost to the Athenas.
And it's not always a matter of, getting your team on base. It's how are you going to keep that going and not leaving any runners stranded.
2 balls on Sterling here at the top of the 6th. Another ball from Tafoya. 3-0 count. And ball 4. Sterling's going to take first.
And you can see Tafoya over there trying to, get herself back into the groove of things.
Now batting number 44, Annabella Ramirez.
After such a long inning like we had at the top of the 5th, it's kind of makes you slow down a little bit. And after especially all of the intensity that the Leopards offense had brought before, just being shut down afterwards, it's kind of hard to come back. And Annabelle Ramirez, who got it done for the Athenas last inning, is going to come up once more.
Yep.
So 1 strike on Ramirez. Fly ball. Luna's under it for out number 2 of the outing for the Leopards. Now bringing up top of the order for the Athenas.
Delaney Stevens, number 31, is coming up for her 4th at bat of this game. .315 batting average, 20 runs scored already for her on the season.
Now the Leopards are going to bring out new pitcher, try and relieve Tafoya of her pitching duties. And Angelina Garcia is going to hop into the circle for the Leopards.
Angelina Garcia, the left-handed pitcher for the Leopards, going to come in with a 6.38 ERA. Already having 1 win under her belt so far this season. Has appeared in 11 games, started 4 of those. Looking to make a good show out during this last fraction of the game.
And coming in with 2 outs, just trying to get that 1 out, get your offense back on the field.
Your attention, please. Now pitching for the Leopards, number 20, Angelina Garcia.
Now Stevens up, runner at first, 2 outs, and new pitcher Garcia out in the circle. Garcia delivers. First pitch is going to be a strike.
Good start so far for Garcia.
That one's just going to miss the zone for ball 1. 1-1 count on Stevens. Swung on and fouled back. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Another foul ball from Stevens. Count stays 1-2.
And Garcia's coming in to this inning with 2 outs. with the role of stopping the bleeding, just making sure to get the Leopards defense out of here as quick as possible to get those bats going again. So as their defense, they're really just looking to make the easy out, the first sure out, one that's going to get them back into that dugout.
That one's a strong foul. Gets more of the barrel there. Still 1-2 count. And Taylor, like you said, just stopping the bleeding, limiting the damage. Rolled up to Vega, turns for 2, gets the out. And now the Leopards are gonna come up, try and respond to this 7-run inning the Athenas had.
So hopefully now, there's a 5-run deficit. The Leopards are still playing a game of catch-up. And so now they have limited opportunities to do so now. So hopefully they make the most of what's put in front of them.
Even if it just comes from chipping away at that score, still have 2 ups left. So middle of the 6th inning, score is Athena's 7, Leopards 2. You're watching SkyX Softball on Flow Sports and LVTV3.
Attacks against Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders are on the rise.
My simple solution to the problem was remove people from the scene and help them feel safer. In terms of the hate crimes, I think there is so much more work to be done. We really need to come together and tackle this issue as a community.
So now, bottom of the 6th, Leopards have their chance to respond, and Aries Alonso is going to be coming up and leading this offense off.
19 re-enter, 17 for 26, 12 for 27.
A few changes here. Aries Alonso 1-for-2 on the day, actually for this game, excuse me.
That looked like a nice off-speed pitch by Darien, landing in the inside corner of the plate.
Doesn't quite catch the zone for ball 1. Now Darien delivers. That one's gonna get the zone. Count is 1-1. Similar pitch, doesn't quite get that outside corner. Count is 2-1.
Alonso looking to rack up her 18th hit of the season so far.
Long foul ball for Aries Alonso.
That one almost carried over the fence just a little bit.
And again, touching on that velocity. Sometimes when you have a speed pitcher, someone who has a bunch of strength, you don't really need that much to carry that ball over.
Sometimes you just have to let the pitcher do all the work. If you square up on that ball properly, it's going somewhere and it's going to carry.
Absolutely, as that pitch misses the zone. Full count on Alonso. Hit to it to lie, but turns around, makes that quick play, and gets the first out of the inning. And wow, that was a hard hit ball.
That was a hard hit ball. Good job to Lai for stopping that. And big credit to Wedmeyer, who was able to stretch and get that play done.
So now have some changes here. Lologo is going to come in for Brooke Petretti. Try and make some things happen. Chop to first. Wedmeyer's going to make that easy play for the second out of the inning.
Your attention, pinch hitting for the Leopards, number 12, Brianna Vasquez.
Brianna Vasquez now with 2 outs, gonna try and do something and get some momentum going.
Vasquez, same pitcher who threw last game, looking to come in and contribute offensively too.
Gets that outside corner for strike 1.
Vasquez with .333 batting average on the season so far. This is going to be her 19th at bat.
And we talked about how Vasquez batting is a little bit of an experiment at the beginning of the season, see how it goes. And now she's made herself into the pinch hitting lineup.
And for a pitcher to have double duty, double responsibility like that.
She swung through that last one for 2 strikes. 0-2 count. That one's outside for ball 1, 1-2 count. Darian looking to get out of this inning. And another outside. 2-2 count. Vasquez looking to put a base runner on for the Leopards.
Darian just about to throw only her 33rd pitch of this game so far.
And for her to come in so early as well. Rolled that one up to Lai. Easy play at first. Brings the Athena's offense back on board. And looks like Leopards offense is going to be pushed with their backs against the wall once again.
Giving them one last opportunity to show out, to rack in those runs, and really put up a good fight for these Athenas.
Now at the end of the 6th inning, score is Athena 7 and Leopards 2. You're watching ULV Softball on Flow Sports and LVTV3 Laverne Community Television.
Every day, the men and women of the U.S. Coast Guard protect our shores and serve our nation with strength, courage, and compassion. When they are in need, CGMA is here to help. They answer the call, we answer theirs. Coast Guard Mutual Assistance, helping our own.
So with the Leopards' backs pushed against the wall, Angelina Garcia coming in for the Leopards in the pitching circle, and the Athenas looking to extend their lead at the top of the 7th.
And Angelina Garcia has a crucial role right now to hold down the Athenas as much as possible, and again to stop that bleeding, to give her team a fighting chance to explode offensively.
So Rachel Saperstein is going to come up for the Athenas. 0 for 3 on the day, so looking to get her first hit. And gets the outside corner for strike 1. Tipped foul for strike 2, 0-2 count on Saperstein.
You know, Layla, Saperstein, like I keep thinking about the play that she made on the run, fielding the ball with her throwing hand earlier on in this game. I've never seen anyone do that in person before.
It's very much ESPN highlights play.
Right?
Another foul from Saperstein. Garcia looking to get her first out of the inning. Popped up and dropped by Luna. Saperstein's gonna go to second.
It just pops out of the glove at Luna, who tried making a sliding catch out there in right field.
It was a very aggressive attempt to make that play. I mean, you can't help but think Vega was right there in time to catch that ball. See, it's a little shallow. Vega starts to call off Luna, but then Luna slides in trying to make that play. Now Alex Whittemire is going to come up for the Athenas with runner in scoring position. She's 0 for 2 today. Garcia still trying to roll up those easy plays. And that one's going to be outside for ball 1.
Garcia is really pinpointing that outside part of the plate. Again, trying to get these Athenas hitters to chase.
Another ball upstairs. 2-0 count for Garcia and the Leopards. From Garcia and the Leopards. That one's fouled back. 2-1 count. Whittemire trying to bring that run in for more insurance. That one's low for ball 3. 3-1 count.
You have a speedy runner like Saperstein all the way at second. Power hitter like Whittemire at the plate.
Poked foul. That was a solid foul hit.
It was. And again, going that opposite way, being able to provide so much power as a hitter when going opposite. You can just imagine how much power Whittemire provides when she is able to pull that ball.
Whittemire staying strong in the box. And Garcia looking for that first out. And swings through. A strikeout for Garcia.
Angelina Garcia coming in, getting in her first strikeout of the day. And again, one of the big power hitters like Whittemire too. I'm sure that's a really big confidence boost for her in that circle.
Especially just coming into the game. I mean, now you have to face Giselle Lai. Still have a runner at second, however, now there's 1 out. That one's low for ball 1. Pitch is outside for ball 2. 2-0 count. Garcia fires. Strike. And Saperstein is going to take third.
Good read by Chacon back there at the plate. Doesn't get Saperstein at third, but great throw and great attempt nonetheless.
Just how fast Saperstein is kind of eliminates their throw. I mean, that read, it must have been a little bit of an off-speed pitch for her to be able to beat that throw.
Yep. And her diving in, that sort of extra jump to get at that bag.
That one's poked foul. Hey. 2-2 count on Lai. That one's looped into no man's land, and another run is going to come in for the Athenas. The Athenas just racking up the runs here.
Yeah, and you know, no man's land has been pretty popular today.
Oh,
a
yeah.
Very popular hitting spot. And so that just goes over the head of Petretti. And you can see that, look at Saperstein just taking a look, jogging her way to home, knowing that she's already going to be safe. And that feeling of reassurance has got to feel good.
Absolutely. Being able to read that ball and seeing that it's dropping must be a great feeling that you secured another run for your team. As that ball is poked foul for the first strike on Robel, who is 3 for 3 this game. Now with a runner at first, 1 out. Another foul ball.
A speedy runner at first, matter of fact.
And we've seen this Athena's team, they're not afraid to take those few extra aggressive steps for their leads, anything to get them to advance. Pitch is outside for ball 1, 1-2 count. Another pitch outside, just gets away from Chacon, able to come back up and grab it easily. Now 2-2 count on Robel. Rolls it up to Petretti, turns for 2. Doesn't make the double play.
But does get the lead runner Lai out at second.
That one's just easily, Petretti's just easily able to turn that one, get the force out at second. Looks like we're gonna have another substitution. So now Parker Jones is going to come in for Manny Ferris.
Your attention, pitch hitting for CMS, number 4, Parker Jones.
Going to see if she can bring in that run for even more insurance, with the score now being 8-2 Athenas. 2 outs. Swings through that one for strike 1.
Jones coming in with a .286 batting average, having played 9 games, starting one of those so far this season. And this is going to be her 8th at-bat on the season. Looking to make things happen, looking to move Robo into some good scoring position for the Athenas.
And excuse me, that is the second strike on Jones. Swings through that pitch for the third out. Another strikeout for Garcia. And Leopards have some work to do in the batter's box.
They really do have some work. Big credit to Garcia for getting those 2 Ks on the inning. And then, of course, you have Lai who brings in Saperstein with that RBI. So now it's really all up to the Leopards to leave it all out there.
And now for their last-ditch effort, middle of the 7th inning, the score is Athena's 8, and Leopards 2. You're watching Skyac Softball on Flow Sports and LVTV3.
I did cheerleading through high school. I went to the Colts cheerleading and I loved it. I was about to go to work and I collapsed.
Thanks to the American Heart Association's support of life-saving research and medical breakthroughs, Tessa got her life back after suffering from a debilitating and near-fatal stroke. To learn more about how the American Heart Association is saving lives, go to helpheart.org.
Now Leopards coming up bottom of the 7th, trying to get something done, trying to do their best and play a little bit of catch-up.
For CMS, number 23, Imani Ferris.
Their last offensive opportunity for this game, for the day, but it's their last offensive opportunity for the regular season. Of course you want to go out with a bang, right? So really just having one last opportunity to leave it out there. And who's going to start that off? Number 5, Bryce Schroyer.
And still looking towards that Skyac tournament. Leopards, obviously, like you said, Taylor, don't want to leave this regular season on a sour note. So now Bryce Schroyer coming in. Tips that one foul. Now Darian delivers, swings through that one for strike 2, 0-2 count on Schroyer.
Darian not even meeting that 50 pitch count yet. This is only going to be her 38th pitch of the game, Layla.
And that just tells the story of how dominant Darian's pitching has been, even after pitching a full game.
Mm-hmm.
And that one's fouled off by Schroyer.
And hopefully she gets a lot of recovery after this because, of course, you don't want to overwork your arm so much right before postseason.
I could only imagine. I mean, you're the pitcher. You know.
All those ice bags, recovery, making sure that you're stretching your arms out enough so that you don't pull a muscle. It's a lot of work.
I'm sure. I barely ever iced my knees. I'm not even gonna lie. So now Schroyer's gonna have a 1-2 count. Rolls that one up. Sterling doesn't quite get that one. Misses it. Their momentum is taking them one way. The ball kind of stopped. They were a little bit laid out too flat.
And you can see, I mean, just take a look at that. She tries to backhand that, gets past her a little bit. She had a touch, she had a feel for it, but not enough to make the play.
So now a base runner on for the Leopards. Looks like they're gonna get, Schroyer's gonna get a pinch runner put some speed on the bags. Leopards try and make their
Your
best
attention,
effort
please.
at
Pitch running
trying
for
to
the
come back.
Leopards at first base, number 3, Natalie Serrano. Now batting, number 14, Annika Luna.
And now Annika Luna is going to come up, who helped in the Leopards' effort at scoring that first run.
Luna coming in for her 3rd at-bat of the day.
Pops up, straight to Lai. Lai goes back. It's a little close call there.
And my mistake on that, I meant to say Luna's 3rd appearance of the game so far here against Darien.
A little bit of a scary moment.
Yeah, a little bit of a scary moment. You can tell that Lai did not hesitate as soon as she got that ball to throw it to Wedmetter at first.
It's a great heads-up play. Now the Athenas have 1 out, 2 outs away of getting out of this doubleheader and winning the series against the Leopards. As Vega comes up and Ramirez checks back at first, doesn't quite get there in time.
Serrano's looking to be smart on the bases right now.
Pitches outside for 1-1 count. Vega looking to bring in another run for her and her Leopards.
And it all starts with 1 good hit.
Easily played by Wedmeyer. Tries to get that force at second. A little too late. Now, the Leopards are 1 out away from losing the series to the Athenas.
And what were we talking about earlier in this game, Layla? Sometimes the best rallies happen with 2 outs.
Absolutely.
Number 15, Victoria.
So
Garza.
let's see if Leopards got some 2-out rally magic. Garza fouls back.
And Garza is ultimately put in one of the most high-pressure situations of today's game. You have a runner in scoring position all the way at second with Serrano over there. So just making sure that you hit this ball in a good spot.
So now Garza has 1-1 count. Darien looking for her second W of the day.
And Garza looking to make the most of her 14th season at bat.
Strike called for a 1-2 count as Ramirez makes sure her presence is known behind the plate.
And Garza can turn everything around right now.
Looking for that chase pitch. 2-2 count on Garza. Down to her last strike. Darien delivers. Chopped to Saperstein, makes the play, and wins the game for the Athenas.
And talk about an outstanding pitching performance by Darien. I mean, pitching the full first game, coming in very early on in the second game. I'm surprised her arm isn't so sore by the end of today. I wouldn't be surprised if it is.
Absolutely. And again, we talked about how shallow this CMS pitching roster can be, or is actually. So Darian being able to come in, finish the game, and finish it in a positive note, it's just it's a great opportunity for her to show her stuff.
And now the Leopards finish the regular season in a tie for third place with Whittier. And as we were talking about earlier, the top 5 qualifying teams end up going to the SCIAC postseason tournament, so they already clinched their spot. But as they enter the SCIAC postseason tournament as number 3 seed, ULV does, own that tiebreaker over Whittier. So they will play next week, Friday, May 5th at 3:30 p.m. versus the number 2 seed Chapman. So I'm really excited to see that, Layla.
So all of these games will be hosted by Redlands, who finish at the top of SCIAC. And for the first time, the Leopards have made it into the tournament since 2022. So obviously not the best way to finish the regular season, but they will have the chance to redeem themselves.
Mm-hmm. And of course, being back at the SCIAC postseason tournament, since that long ago, since 2022, I mean, that's got to be a good feeling for a coach not going to be able to come in and bring the Leopards back to that major milestone.
Absolutely. And we are so excited to see what these Leopards have to offer at the end of the 7th. The score is Athena's 8 and Leopards 2. You're watching SCIAC Softball on Flow Sports and LVTV 3, Laverne Community Television.